Chapter 171, Rapid Idea. With a resounding thud, the lifeless body crashed to the floor, sending a shockwave through the hearts of Baron Brignize, Louis, and their comrades. Baron Brignize rose to his feet and beheld the corpse lying at Lumien's feet. He took in the tangle of abundant, disheveled brown hair, the lengthy limbs, and the imposing, robust physique. It was none other than Hammer 8. Louis's eyes widened in disbelief at the realization that the treacherous member of the Savoy mob lay dead on the café floor. The Baron had entrusted the task to Seal right after dinner, and the hour had not even struck 10. What's more, Seal had managed to accomplish the mission before they could deliver the comprehensive intelligence and weaponry that would have enhanced his chances of success. Moreover, Hammer 8 was a true beyonder, surpassing even Wilson from before in strength. He wasn't as vulnerable as Margit, always surrounded by a retinue of followers. Yet, he had failed to survive 3 hours after the Baron had issued the assignment. Was this any different from purchasing a pig at Le Marché du Quartier du Gentleman and slaughtering it? Even if the Baron had taken personal action, it wouldn't have been that effortless or straightforward. It could have even ended in failure. Louis's gaze shifted from the lifeless body to Seal's countenance, as if only now did he truly perceive the true nature of this rural novice. It was somewhat understandable that Margit had fallen prey to him due to carelessness and the poisoned slash. Wilson's defeat could be explained away by his own feebleness and entrapment within the room. However, Hammer 8 was a beyonder whose combat prowess was not significantly inferior to the Baron's, and he had always been on high alert against potential assassinations by the Savoy mob. He wouldn't have been careless. Yet, Seal had managed to dispatch such a formidable adversary within a matter of hours. Just how formidable was he? What were his limits? In comparison to the Baron, who was the stronger one? A cascade of questions raced through Louis's mind, and his gaze at Lumien now held a tinge of fear. The other thugs shared the same unease. Baron Brignize's gaze constantly shifted between Hammer 8's lifeless form and Lumien's visage, as if searching for any trace of deceit. Had Lumien Li effortlessly completed a mission that the Baron himself would have considered challenging? If Hammer 8 was so easily dispatched, why had the Savoy mob, who had long sought to punish the traitor, allowed him to live until now? This guy is even more terrifying than I had suspected. In terms of strength, intelligence, execution, and seizing opportunities, he is no less capable than I am. He must be concealing some secrets. There's more to him than meets the eye. Baron Brignize barely contained the turmoil within his heart and reclaimed the clarity, rationality, and intelligence he typically boasted. Just as he was about to bestow his usual smile and commendation upon Lumien Li, signifying his intent to inform his superiors of Lumien's contributions to the Savoy mob, a sudden realization dawned upon him. Baron Brignize's expression turned to stone as he locked eyes with Lumien. "Does anyone else know that you've taken down Hammer 8? Lumien replied candidly, "Quite a few." Baron Brignize's countenance underwent a dramatic shift, losing its refined and confident air. In that moment, all he wanted was to unleash a torrent of curses upon Lumien. Is your fucking brain filled with shit? So many people are aware of your involvement in Hammer 8's demise, and yet you boldly bring his lifeless body to Salle de Balbrise, right in front of me. Do you think that these individuals won't inform Black Scorpion Roger? Do you believe he won't storm into Salle de Balbrise seeking revenge? Do you think I can fend off Black Scorpion Roger? Damn it, you're leading me to my own demise. You better find a bloody corner to hide in at Underground Trier." Seizing the opportunity presented by Baron Brignize's subdued breathing and silence, Lumien smiled nonchalantly and said, "Hammer 8's subordinates must have found Black Scorpion Roger by now. Only you, Baron, can offer me sufficient protection." "Baron, weren't you anticipating retaliation from the Poison Spur mob? That's why you sent me to hunt down one of the trio, Hammer, Baldy, or Short-Legged Candlestick?" Bitterness filled Baron Brignize's mouth at Lumien's question. For a brief moment, he couldn't bring himself to order Lumien to leave. He had made 2 plans in preparation for the potential revenge from the Poison Spur mob. He was confident that he would remain unscathed. Wouldn't it be a fortuitous outcome if Giant, Simon and Rat Christo met their end? But the predicament lay in the fact that he hadn't had enough time to implement any of his plans or set them into motion. His intention was to dispatch the intelligence and weaponry to Auberge du Coq Doré tomorrow morning, and only then would he decide on the course of action. Nonetheless, eliminating any leader of the Poison Spur mob was no easy feat. It would likely require days of meticulous effort before he could even set foot inside their domain. Yet Lumian Lee, that madman, had sought out Hammer 8 without delay upon accepting the mission. He wasted no time, conducted no reconnaissance, made no arrangements, and didn't wait for the opportune moment to arise. What further infuriated the Baron was that the fellow had actually succeeded. In a matter of hours, he had slain Hammer 8 and dragged the lifeless body to Salle de Bal-Brise. Fuck, is he even human? This caught him off guard. If Black Scorpion Roger were to strike, he might meet his demise alongside Hammer 8. Observing Baron Brignize's silence and darkened expression, Lumian inwardly chuckled. He had brought Hammer 8's body to Salle de Bal-Brise and presented it to Baron Brignize not to boast or intimidate the gang leader and his henchmen. His intention was to draw Black Scorpion Roger and the other formidable members of the Poison Spur mob to them. If Baron Brignize were to fall, a new opportunity would arise. A replacement with sufficient strength would be required. When the time came, Seal, who could fight, contribute, and had aided Red Boots' lover, would undoubtedly be the most sought-after candidate. Lumian wasn't overly concerned about whether Black Scorpion Roger would kill him. Mr. K's finger was in his pocket. Mr. K probably wouldn't mind if I repurposed the finger. After all, I'm doing it to fulfill his mission, Lumian thought casually. Regardless, the threat from Susanna Mad Eyes wouldn't come anytime soon. He could figure out an alternative approach later. Perhaps Mr. K would reward him with another finger once he saw how well and swiftly Lumian completed the mission. Baron Brignize's expression underwent several changes. He pushed his chair back abruptly and hurried toward an iron-colored mechanical safe at the cafe bar counter. He turned the knob and entered the password. Lumian watched with a raised eyebrow, puzzled. What was Baron Brignize planning to retrieve? Was he intending to take the cash and flee? Or did he possess sealed artifacts that he dared not carry with him, fearing their potent negative effects, and had stowed them away in the safe? Soon enough, Baron Brignize opened the safe and retrieved 2 bundles of detonators, commonly used in quarries. Setting a trap to explode Black Scorpion Roger? That's quite challenging. He's a heretic spellmaster. Lumian refrained from inquiring as he observed Baron Brignize walk toward the wall near Avenue du Marché and push open 2 glass windows. The leader of the Savoy mob placed the bundles of detonators on the windowsill, then lit a match. Subsequently, he ignited one of the bundles and glanced at the dimly lit Avenue du Marché. Raising his hand, he tossed the explosives into the middle of the road. Louis and the other mobsters stood in bewilderment, unable to comprehend the Baron's intentions. Lumian's thoughts raced, and he instantly grasped the plan. He couldn't help but inwardly applaud, very clever. Boom! The bundle of detonators exploded in the middle of Avenue du Marché, causing the surrounding glass to rattle. The few pedestrians on the roadside were startled and fell to the ground, sustaining minor injuries. Some screamed, covering their ears, and frantically sought shelter in nearby locations. Baron Brignize glanced over, lit another bundle of detonators, and hurled it into the deserted road. Causing casualties would be troublesome aftermath. He didn't wish to attract unwanted attention from authorities. Boom! The explosion reverberated once more. The police headquarters on Avenue du Marché, the Eternal Blazing Sun Cathedral, and the God of Steam and Machinery Cathedral responded to a certain extent. Salle de Bal-Brise and the occupants of nearby buildings were thrown into disarray, but they dared not venture outside. Baron Brignize clapped his hands and returned to the wooden table. He pulled a chair over and sat down. Resuming his usual demeanor, he smiled at Lumian. It's all right now. This would surely unsettle the police and the clergymen. Some would undoubtedly investigate the cause. It was highly probable that official beyonders would be among them. Officers who maintained good relations with the Savoy mob would inevitably inquire. Under such circumstances, how could Black Scorpion, Roger, dare to launch an attack? They couldn't risk assuming that no official Beyonders would care about the explosion. After all, if they lost that bet, they would be doomed. Lumion hadn't expected Baron Brignize to find a way to elude Black Scorpion, Roger's assault in such a short span of time. And he had accomplished it using only the resources at hand. This had momentarily foiled his plan. True to the reputation of the Savoy mob's brain, Baron Brignize displays remarkable responsiveness and quick thinking, surpassing even Margit, Hammer 8, and the others in critical moments. Lumion clicked his tongue in acknowledgement, paying no mind to Hammer's lifeless body on the ground. Taking a seat across from Baron Brignize, he flashed a smile. I made the wise choice to seek refuge here. Baron Brignize nearly choked, his saliva catching in his throat. Had it not been for his exceptional intellect, he might have been ensnared and faced a grave fate. Exhaling slowly, Baron Brignize cast a glance at the motionless corpse and addressed Louis and the rest. Drag it into a private room and conceal it carefully. The authorities will likely come knocking soon.